The nickname right now out there is Nick Talker.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with 13 days out physique update from the conqueror William Bonac. So the man is looking so ripped and so dry, and none of it comes to us as a surprise. I mean, the man is undoubtedly one of the best bodybuilders of the last decade or so, and the stats, they speak for themselves. And I have got to say, even at the age of 42, he's ready to give all these younger guys a very serious run for their money at this upcoming Detroit Pro, and he has a very good chance at beating all of them and earning his Olympia spot for this year. Now, Bonac, with all of his weaknesses, his left bicep melting away, quads not as huge and round as they used to be, let's say 5 years ago, waist not being the same as it was in his prime, the shoulder to shoulder width, that is also kind of narrow now. But even with all that, the man is still good enough to win multiple pro shows every year. And this is exactly what he plans to do in 2025. Now, I won't be surprised at all if William Bonac does the most number of shows in one calendar year this time, because he's gonna be dieting all the way till this year's Pittsburgh Pro. So why not take advantage of being in a phenomenal shape and collect more paychecks? Now, William Bonac is the clear favorite to win the upcoming Detroit Pro in less than 2 weeks' time now. I mean, the man is just way too good from the back. The kind of density that he has and his muscle maturity that exceeds most of the guys who are gonna be there in this lineup. And by looking at these updates, you can almost guarantee that he's gonna be in shape, contrary to some of the other guys who have been very inconsistent with the peaking process, with showing up at 100%. And I have got to say, it is so crazy to think that Bonac was ready to retire 1 year ago, and here he is now, literally stopping multiple of those young guys from qualifying for this year's Miss Olympia. So Hostile just dropped some Sherpa-lined zip-up hoodies and Force hooded jackets. So do check them out and use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. So still have any doubts that Terrence Ruffin is most likely gonna be the biggest threat to Mike Sommerfeld at this year's Miss Olympia in Classic? Well, this 8 weeks out update, that is gonna clear any of those doubts. This might be the best physique update that Terrence has posted in quite some years. Extremely eye-pleasing physique, as always, but bigger, which is gonna be the key here. Now, I am kind of surprised how good his arms are looking right now, and how they're coming along so damn well, even with that elbow issue. Now, the arms have always been his biggest weakness throughout his career, but if you look at his physique from way back in 2016, he has brought them up tremendously, and that proves a point that even a genetically lagging body part that can be improved to a great extent if there is a proper plan in place, although it takes a lot of time. Now, Terrence's conditioning at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, that is gonna be so insane in my opinion, because the man was looking so good even 12 weeks out of the show. So this is a guy who has almost no weaknesses, especially if he's able to maintain all that size on his arms. I guess his biggest weakness, that was his height. Or at least that is what people used to say. But the thing is, Mike himself, he isn't a 6 feet tall guy. So this is surely gonna be an awesome comparison. So I for one cannot wait to see Terrence finalize this package, because this is something I am really looking forward to in 8 weeks time at this year's Pittsburgh Pro. So Goodvito gives a little sneak peek of how things are looking 3 weeks out of this year's Arnold Brazil. Now, I have no idea how many of those guys competing in Detroit, whether they're gonna sign up for this upcoming Arnold Brazil as well or not. But as of right now, that is Goodvito's show to lose. And even if all these guys, all these top names, they go from Detroit to the Arnold Brazil, that is still gonna be Vito's show to lose. And the man just isn't afraid of anyone. Now, there is a reason he signed up for one of the biggest shows of the year, the Pittsburgh Pro, where the man is gonna get compared to the likes of Martin and the Mutant, and also William Bonac. So it kind of seems like that Goodvito knows how far his ceiling can be as a men's open bodybuilder. Now, Goodvito has the ability to do what Martin did in 2024. Not saying he can place as high as top 4 at his Olympia debut, but he can definitely shock a lot of people and a lot of big names, because he's coming in supersized with that same beautiful physique, small waistline, even bigger quads, than we saw last year at Detroit and the Arnold Brazil, and possibly bigger arms, and a thicker chest, and most importantly, a better back. And this is a type of talent that you just do not see every year. And with a full off-season under his belt, the Goodvito did all the things necessary to be a better bodybuilder. He can 100% become the breakout star of 2025. Now his quads are gonna be mind-blowing, and hopefully all the size that he built during this past off-season, that translates on the stage, especially into his upper body. So this is surely a very anticipated return of a young athlete after 1 year, and I just cannot wait to see his comparison with guys like Nick Walker and Martin-Fitzwater.
Whether Nick winds up in 8th or not, Bob's prediction of him not being a Mr. Olympia is not that far based outside the realm of reality. These bodybuilders today, Leo, are taking exception to criticism.
Well, some of the die-hard fans of Nick Walker, they are gonna bash Sean Ray as well for giving his unfiltered and honest opinion about Nick Walker's chances of winning the upcoming Miss Olympia title. Now, I have got to say, if anything, Sean Ray actually threw a challenge at Nick Walker to prove him and many others wrong, who think that Nick's fate as an Olympia title contender that is heavily dependent on all the top guys of today, namely Derek, Hadi, Samson, and possibly Martin as well.
Nick Walker, if you go in the Olympia and you get 8th place, you'd be the 8th best bodybuilder on the planet. Nothing to hang your head about.
For him to win the Olympia, he needs the help from all these other guys. They need to come in off. So do you guys disagree with Sean Ray, saying that Nick Walker has been doing a lot of talk, especially in the past 3 or 4 weeks?
I have lower expectations. Nick thinks he can be Mr. Olympia. I'm not going to piss all over his dream. But statistically speaking, genetically speaking, in today's lineup, I'm a betting man, Nick's not going to win the Mr. Olympia. Nick, prove us wrong. Bob should not be attacked for that opinion.
Especially saying that beating a guy like Martin, that is going to be easy work for him. Wasn't that a bit disrespectful towards a guy who is the 4th best bodybuilder in the world?
You got to get past Martin again. And
Easy.
then, I don't know if it's easy. He's put on a lot of size.
Me too.
Okay. I missed you, Nick. He was a lot smaller, so I think it's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah. Well,
I think you guys are. I think you guys are both better. So you might edge him out again. You might. I don't know. We'll see. He's got some momentum riding the 4th at the Olympia.
yeah. Well, that's gonna end soon.
Okay.
Stop talking about people that are talking about you. Show us what you can do. The nickname right now out there is Nick Talker. It's not necessary. Nick is a great bodybuilder. But Nick is doing a lot more talking than he is actually competing, and people want to see him put his money where his mouth is. So is Bob wrong? I don't think so.
Well, I will let you guys decide. But even Sean Ray gave him the reference of what his nickname, Nick the Mutant, has been since he dropped out of the Olympia last year, and that has been Nick Talker. Now, we all know social media can be very brutal. Once you made a public statement, you cannot take that back. And right now, the margin of error for a guy like Nick Walker, that is absolutely zero for this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro. For him to gain the respect as well as the momentum, he needs to 100% dominate that lineup. Otherwise, he's probably gonna get the most severe backlash of his entire career. Next up, we have a 2 weeks out physique update from Samson Dauda, aka Sas. So he's gonna be a major player at this upcoming Detroit Pro. He might has the best wheels in that entire Detroit Pro lineup. And just by looking at his current update, he's gonna be absolutely peeled and ripped to the bone on the stage. So I personally think he's gonna have a great battle with a guy like James Hollingshead. Now Sas retired as one of the top pros from the UK, and we can only speculate how far he would have gone if he did not stop competing way back in 2018, because the man was battling it out with all the top guys of that time, like Nathan Diesha. So last year, when Sas made his comeback and he competed at Emperor Classic Spain to test himself on how he compares against some of the top pros of today, that show also had a great lineup. Michael Krizo, William Bonac, Arostabani, and Samson got this individual call out with Michael Krizo. Now he was never the biggest guy on the stage, and who could have done a better job to make us realize that than one of the most freakiest guy in the men's open bodybuilding, Michael Krizo. So Samson had a very long off season, and this year he's gonna be back on the stage with more size, more mass. Now, he still isn't the biggest guy on the stage, but the thing is, neither is William Bonac, who by the way is the favorite to win Detroit Pro. But Sas also had a super balance, so I see him in the first call out, possibly top 3 here, and he can also fight for the title. But do let me know what you guys think. And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.